topik 8. So untuk hari ni kita akan cover topik 8 dulu, lepas tu nanti kita go through instruction for korang punya case study, and then kita go through jawapan test. Okay, so kita tengok dulu topik 8, counting. So basically untuk topik 8 kita akan cover all these subtopics. Ada 4 subtopics altogether. So the first subtopic is to describe the 2 basic counting principles. So kita akan tengok in detail macam mana nak guna sum rule dengan product rule. Then the second subtopic kita tengok macam mana nak solve a problem using the basic counting principles. Then the third subtopic we'll look at how to distinguish permutations and combinations with and without repetition. And lastly, we'll look at how to solve problems using permutation and combinations. So basically mainly counting topik ni mainly dia terbahagi kepada, kita boleh kata dia terbahagi kepada 2 parts. Kita nak tengok the basic counting principle dia, okay, from the berkaitan basic counting principle, and how to use permutation and combination. Okay, so basically the techniques for counting are important in maths and computer science, especially in the analysis of algorithm. So kebiasaannya kalau programmer yang large system punya programmer kan, like programmer yang develop program-program yang besar macam Microsoft Word contohnya, Microsoft Excel, ataupun game, okay, ataupun operating system terutamanya, biasanya dia akan concern on performance of algorithm yang dia orang tulis, okay, code yang dia orang tulis tu. So kebiasaannya programmer dia akan kira the complexity, the time complexity of the algorithm. Okay. Time complexity ni di dalam computer science kebiasaannya diukur dengan satu notation yang kita panggil sebagai big O notation. Jadi big O notation tu dia akan dia ada beberapa kategori big O notation, O(n), square, log n dan sebagainya. Ada beberapa lagi kategori. Okay, jadi programmer kebiasaannya dia akan cuba sebaik mungkin untuk reduce the time complexity of an algorithm. Okay, contohnya yang paling mudah ni lah, kalau kita ada loop ni. Loop tu actually berbanding dengan the normal statement kan, statement yang tak ada loop. Loop tu actually dia increase sikit complexity satu-satu algorithm tu berbanding dengan statement yang kat luar loop kan. Lepas tu kalau kita ada nested loop lagi, kalau kita ada nested loop lagi increase complexity dia. Jadi kebiasaannya programmer dia akan cari jalan supaya kita reduce the complexity, supaya performance of that program can be improved, supaya program tak makan terlalu banyak resource, RAM dan sebagainya. Jadi untuk tengok time complexity tu kita kena guna counting theory, okay, di dalam computer science. So counting theory ni memang sangat-sangat related dengan apa yang kita belajar dalam computer science, especially bila kita nak optimize kita punya algorithm. So kita tengok dulu the first part, how to describe the 2 basic counting principles. So di dalam basic counting principle ni basically ada 2 basic principles. The first one is the sum rule. Kita ada 2 sets A and B. So basically kalau kita kata A union B, dia adalah the sum of the cardinality of set A plus cardinality of set B. So we just sum up the cardinality of both sets together. So if a sequence of tasks T1, T2, T3 to Tm can be done in W1, W2, W3 to Wm ways respectively, in such a way that the condition is that no task can be performed simultaneously. Maknanya kita perform one task after another, complete dulu one task baru kita execute the next task. Okay, Then the number of ways to do one of these tasks is W1 plus W2 plus W3 2 plus WM. Okay, so we just, untuk sum rule, kita just add up the number of ways to perform each task. Okay, so kalau task 1 tu ada 10 ways contohnya untuk perform task 1, and task 2 ada for instance 9 ways to perform task 2. So we just sum up both tasks, the number of ways for both tasks together to get the total number of ways. Okay, so kebiasaannya di dalam problem ataupun in statement-statement dalam ayat-ayat ini beri, kebiasaannya dia akan pakai keyword or untuk indicate yang kita perlu guna sum rule untuk dapat the number of ways. Okay, ataupun apa-apa words lain yang implies that yang tu adalah or. Okay, nanti kita akan tengok contoh macam mana kita nak differentiate instances where we need to use sum rule dengan ataupun product rule. Okay, kemudian the second principle, the product rule. So sama juga ketika kita ada two sets A and B. So the product rule is basically the cardinality of A times the cardinality of B. So if a sequence of tasks T1, T2, T3 to Tm can be done in W1, W2, W3 to Wm ways respectively, and every task arrives after the occurrence of the previous task, then there are W1 times W2 times W3 times Wm ways from the task. Okay, so untuk product rule ni basically dia punya keyword yang biasanya digunakan adalah n. Okay, ataupun apa-apa word lain yang indicate n. Okay. Jadi kadang-kadang problem yang diberi tu dia explicitly mention sama ada or ataupun n. Kadang-kadang kita kena deduce daripada daripada problem yang diberi. Kita kena based on ini logic from the real world, kita kena deduce sama ada benda tu adalah or ke benda tu n. So kalau or kita pakai sum rule, kalau benda tu n kita pakai product rule. Okay. Kemudian ada dua lagi mathematical function yang penting dalam counting theory yang kita frequently use in combinatorics. Okay. So the first one is the factorial function. Okay, factorial function ni memang kita akan pakai di dalam throughout kita punya counting theory punya topik ni. Memang kita akan pakai. Okay, sebab factorial function ni basically purpose dia adalah untuk simplify proses untuk kita count saja sebenarnya, supaya kita tak perlu go through thoroughly each number of ways. So satu, dia memudahkan kita count, satu lagi dia simplify dari segi cara kita write kita punya number of ways tu. Okay, so basically the factorial function is the product of the positive integers from 1 to n inclusive is denoted by n. Lepas tu guna simbol alert ni kan. Mana kita baca dia as n factorial. Okay. Jadi basically bila kita kata contohnya, okay, dekat sini kita tengok dulu, bila kita ada 0 factorial dia sama dengan 1. 1 factorial tu sama dengan 1. So 0 factorial and 1 factorial is equal to each other. Okay. Kemudian kalau kita ada 2 factorial biasanya, kalau kita ada 2 factorial, basically apa yang kita buat, kita just substitute 2 into 2 minus 1 factorial. So dia actually apa yang dia buat ialah macam kita ada contoh tadi 2 factorial, apa yang dia buat ialah dia akan timescan daripada number 2 tu sehingga 1. Sebenarnya kalau kita have 2 factorial, dia sama dengan 2 times 1. Kalau kita ada 5 factorial, dia sama dengan 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So from that number, from that n value to down to the number 1, dia akan multiply each of the numbers. Okay. So this one is the factorial function. So kita boleh nampak kan, kalau boleh nampak kan, dia actually sort of simplify cara kita tulis number berkenaan. Okay, so factorial function ni dia punya function dia ada dalam kita punya calculator. Okay, kalau korang pakai calculator yang daripada SPM ni, macam biasa kalau yang SPM yang popular punya calculator yang Casio FX 570 MS kan, dia ada function untuk factorial tu. Okay, so orang kata cara nak kami nak untuk calculate dia mudah. Jadi ni no worries. Kemudian satu lagi function yang penting ialah binomial coefficient. Okay, so the symbol NR we should write like this. Okay, dalam brackets N ke atas R di bawah. We can read it as NCR. Okay, or N choose R. Okay, R and N are positive integers with R is less than or equal to N. Okay, so basically binomial coefficient ni is related to combinations. Nanti kita akan tengok. Okay, formula they use the same formula. Okay, binomial coefficient dia punya formula dia is the same for combinations punya formula. So basically R is the number of elements yang kita select daripada satu-satu set. N is the total number of elements in the set. Okay, so sebab tu R akan sentiasa less than or equal to N. R dia tak akan lebih daripada N. Nanti kita akan tengok in detail macam mana nak pakai this function. So basically dia punya formula for binomial coefficient is equivalent to N factorial divided by R factorial times N minus R factorial. Okay, so we'll look at how to use these functions in subtopics yang akan datang. Okay, so sekarang kita tengok macam mana nak solve basic counting principle. Okay, menggunakan those two principles tadi, the sum rule and the product rule. Okay, kita tengok the first example dulu. There are 18 math majors and 25 science majors. Okay, how many ways are there to pick one math major and pick one math major or one science major? Okay, so basically dia kata kalau kita tengok dekat problem ni agak straightforward sebab kita boleh identify terus kan dia punya keyword dia all kat sini. Jadi solution dia adalah kita just sum up these two numbers. So the number of ways to select a math major is 18 ways, right? So ada 18 math major, so ada 18 ways to select a math major. Okay, then the number of ways to select the science major is 25. So ada 25 science major and so ada 25 ways kita boleh select. Okay, 25 choices yang kita boleh pilih. So in this case sebab dia pakai or dekat sini, so we just use the sum rule, 18 plus 25, so you get 43. Okay, so ini agak straightforward sebab dia punya keyword dia you can identify straight away. Okay, so we look at the next example. In how many ways can we select one book among 5 distinct computer science books, 3 distinct mathematics books, and 2 distinct arts books? Okay, dalam soalan ni dia macam trick sikit. Okay, sebab dia kata dekat sini dia kata how many ways can we select one book among how many 5 computer science books, 3 maths books and 2 arts books kan, sebab dia pakai N kat sini. Tetapi sebenarnya kalau kita tengok betul-betul untuk solve this, actually we use the sum rule instead of the product rule. Jadi kita nak select one book among all the books yang ada. Okay, so we can select either one of the 5 books daripada computer science books, or we can select a book from the mathematics books, or we can select the 2 books, one of the 2 books from the arts books. Okay, so kat sini kita pakai sum rule bukan product rule. Okay, walaupun kat sini dia pakai N, jadi kita korang kena tengok the problem as a whole. Dalam case ni sebab dia nak select only one book from different subjects. So dalam kes ni kita use sum rule. So the number of ways there adalah we just sum up all the number of books yang ada, 5 books plus 3 plus 2, so we get 10 ways to select one book, okay, from 3 different subjects. Okay, kemudian untuk the next example, okay, there are 18 math majors and 25 science major. How many ways are there to pick one math major and one science major? Okay, so dalam kes ni dia nak kita select one each from the math major dengan the science major. Okay, so kalau kita tengok dia punya keyword pun agak straightforward and kat sini kan. So we just since dia pakai and, so we use the product rule. Okay, so the solution there is 18 times 25. So you get 450 ways to select one math major and one science major. Okay, then we look at another example. Consider a wedding picture of 6 people. Okay, dari dalam wedding picture tu dia ada 6, kita boleh anggap dia macam ada 6 seats di dalam wedding picture tu yang orang boleh duduk. Okay, so ada 6 seats di dalam wedding picture tu, tetapi there are 10 people including the bride and the groom. Okay, ada 10 people including the bride and the groom. How many possible options are available to choose if the bride must be in the picture? Okay, dia kata bride tu mesti ada dalam picture tu. Okay, jadi kita boleh break down kita punya problem ni into 2 parts. Okay, mula-mula kita identify the number of ways we can position the bride in the picture. Okay, kita count the number of ways to position the bride in the picture. Okay, sebab ada 6, sebab bride wajib ada dalam picture kan, dan ada 6 seat di dalam picture tu. So kita cari, kita count the number of ways kita nak letak bride tu di dalam picture tu. And the second part ialah kita count the number of ways untuk position the remaining people into the remaining seats dalam picture. Okay, jadi mula-mula kita identify dulu bride. Okay, sebab bride wajib ada dalam picture, dan kita boleh letak, kita boleh seat dia di salah satu daripada 6 seat tu kan. Ada 6 seat dalam picture tu, so kita boleh either place dia dekat the first seat, the second seat, the third seat, the fourth seat, or the sixth seat. So there are 6 possible ways untuk position the bride in the picture. Okay, so kita dah settle bride, sebab bride kita dapat 6 possible ways kan untuk position dia dalam picture tu. Then kita solve pula the second part, how to position the remaining people into the remaining seats dalam picture tu. So sebab kita ada 10 orang kan tadi, tolak bride, jadi kita tinggal 9 orang. 9 orang yang remaining 9 people yang kita boleh pilih untuk position di dalam picture tu. Okay, then daripada 9 orang tu, sebab dalam picture tu hanya boleh masuk 6 orang, ataupun kita ada 6 seat dalam picture tu. Salah satu daripada seat di dalam picture tu kita dah letak bride, so kita tinggal 5 seat. So daripada 9 orang tu, kita kena cari jalan how to position 9, daripada 9 orang tu macam mana kita nak choose 5 orang untuk position dia dalam picture tu. Okay, so sebab contohnya first seat tadi kita dah letak bride, so the second seat, okay, the second seat kita ada 9 ways, ataupun kalau nak mudah sikit, sebab kita ada 5 seat remaining kan. Okay, supaya tak confuse, kita ada 5 seat remaining. So daripada 5 seat remaining tu, the first remaining seat, kita ada 9 ways untuk choose orang untuk letak dia di dalam the first remaining seat. Okay, then for the second remaining seat, you have 8 people to choose from. So ada 8 ways to choose. Okay, so daripada from the third seat, we have 7 remaining ways, 7 people to choose from untuk seat dia dekat the third seat, and so on. So basically, sebab kita ada 5 remaining seats, so the first seat tadi kita ada 9 people to choose from, the second seat we have 8 people to choose from, the third seat we have 7 people to choose from, okay, the fourth seat we have 6 people to choose from, and the fifth seat we have 5 people to choose from. So altogether we have 15,120 ways we can choose. We can get to position 9 people into the 5 remaining seats. Boleh dapat kan? So untuk dapat the total number of ways, the total number of possible ways to position 6 people into the wedding picture, we just times the number of ways yang kita dapat untuk position bride and the number of ways kita dapat untuk position 9 people into the 5 seats. Okay, so 6 times 15,120, so you get 19,720 ways ataupun options untuk position those people into the wedding picture. So dapat kan? Nampak kan macam mana kita solve this problem?
Nampak sir.
Okay.
Nampak sir.
Any question before we continue?
No question sir.
Okay, alright. So we look at the third subtopic and the fourth. Okay. So in this subtopic basically kita tengok macam mana nak distinguish between permutations and combinations and how to use dia punya formula dia. Okay. Okay, so we look at the permutation first. Okay, so an arrangement of any r less than or equal to n of these objects is a given order. In a given order is called an r permutation or a permutation of the n objects taken r at a time. So macam saya kata tadi, n is the total number of elements in the set. Okay, ataupun yang available kat kita. R is the number of elements yang kita select. Okay, so basically logically, kalau kita fikir logik pun R tu memang tidak akan will not be greater than n. So that's why we have this condition here. Okay, R is less than or equal to n. So the number of R permutations of a set of n distinct objects is denoted by E in brackets NR. Okay. So basically PNR is equivalent to n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 and so on until n minus r plus 1. Okay, where n is the number of choices for the first element. So the first element kita ada n choices kan. Okay, then the second element kita akan kurang satu choice sebab kita dah select one choice tadi. So sebab tu kita n minus 1. Okay, jadi dia kurang satu choice. For the third element, so we have already selected two elements just now early on. So we have n minus 2 choices remaining. Okay, and so on. So that's why the formula is like this. Okay. So basically for permutation, dia ada built-in function dalam calculator korang. Okay. So you can just use the built-in function. Tetapi kita kena tengok situation. Ada situation yang kita tak boleh pakai dia punya built-in function dia. Dan ada situation yang kita boleh pakai built-in function. Jadi nanti kita akan tengok situation mana yang kita tak boleh pakai built-in function dia. Kalau tidak kita dapat the wrong answer. So PNR ni dia basically is denoted, kadang-kadang is denoted by dia pakai n superscript p r subscript n. Okay, ataupun dia tulis macam ni, okay, both n and r in subscript, okay, NTR, or dia tulis macam p n, r. Okay, so dia ada banyak cara untuk denote permutation of n, r. Okay, so basically ada 3 different types of formulas depending on the situation, okay, yang kita perlu pakai. Kalau in situations ataupun kebiasaannya kita akan pakai this formula, okay, formula ataupun dalam situation where there should be no repetition dalam kita punya process counting itu. Okay, so the number of permutations of n objects taken r at the time is p and r equals to n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. Okay. Kemudian in situations where there are repetition, okay, di mana situasi ni dia timbul bila ada some of the elements yang repeated daripada set tu. Contohnya kalau kita ada MOO, okay, O tu dia repeat 2 kali kan. In that case we must use this formula. Okay, so basically the formula is the number of permutations of n objects of which are alike is P n, okay, semicolon. Then we list down the number of elements yang repeated. Contohnya kalau kita ambil MOO tadi, O repeat 2 kali kan, so we write dia punya n dia is 3. Since O dia repeat 2 kali, so semicolon 2. Okay, nanti kita tengok macam mana kita nak pakai this formula in detail. Then the formula for with replacement, each time there are n ways to choose an object, the repetition are allowed. Okay, so the formula is n to the power of r. So basically dia punya beza dia antara this one and this one, yang with repetition ni dia punya sum of dia punya element saja yang repeated. Okay, tak semua dia punya elements tu repeated biasanya. Untuk with replacement ni all elements dalam problem yang diberi tu dia repeated. Okay, so nanti kita akan tengok example bila nak pakai these formulas. Biasanya untuk with replacement ni dia explicitly state dalam problem tu yang kita kena find the number of ways with replacement. Okay, so dia agak straightforward. Okay, cuma korang kena identify bila nak pakai this one and this one. This one no problem, sebab basically dia akan straight away when they can explicitly state when to use. Okay, so you look at some of the examples. Dalam the first example ni dia kata, in how many ways can we arrange 3 objects in the set of A, B and C without repetition? Lepas tu dia suruh list all of them. Okay, so in this problem dia kata without repetition kan. Since dia kata without repetition, so we can use this formula. Okay, so kalau kita tak pakai formula tu pun kita boleh dapat straight away. Okay, dia sama macam kita boleh pakai product rule tu straight away kan. Okay, sebab ini agak simple. Ataupun kalau nak pakai formula tu pun you still can use it, you'll get the same answer, right? Okay, so basically the number of ways we can arrange 3 objects from this set, okay, is 3 factorial. Okay, P 3 equals to 3 factorial. Okay, equals to 3 times 2 times 1 equals to 6. Okay, kalau korang pakai formula ni you'll get the same answer juga, sebab dia kata n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. So you just substitute dia punya nilai. So dia punya n ni adalah 3 kan. So 3 factorial, okay, divided by ni n minus r. Okay, n dia 3, r dia 3, so 3 minus 3 is 1 factorial. So 1 factorial is 1, right? Kan, macam tadi kita dapat sebenarnya kita tengok z ni 1 factorial is equivalent to 1, so you still get 3 factorial. So sebab ini 1 factorial, so you can just abaikan, sebab bagi dengan 1 apa-apa yang divide by 1 you get the value at the atasnya. So in this case you will still get this one. So lepas tu dia suruh list all of them. So we just list all the possible arrangement for this all the elements in this set. So we get ABC, ACB, BAC, BCA, CAB and CBA. Okay. Then we look at the second example. How many ways are there to select the first prize winner, the second prize winner and the third prize winner from 100 different people who have entered a contest? Okay. So in this case, okay, dia nak select dalam kes ni in apa-apa race kebiasaannya the first prize winner, the second prize winner and the third prize winner are 2 different people kan. And biasanya tidak ada ni, tak ada orang yang menang the same prize. Maksudnya tak ada yang dua orang yang menang the same prize. So in this case, dia punya N dia is 100, R dia is 3 sebab kita nak select 3 different winners kan. So we just use the formula tadi, okay, without repetition. So you can use either the formula or dalam case ni dia pakai 100 factorial, okay, but they repeat 3 times sebab ada 3 places saja kan. So 100 times 99 times 98, so you get 970,200 ways, okay, to get the first, the second and the third prize winner for 100 from 100 different people. Okay. Then we look at the next example. How many permutations of the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H contain the string A, B, C? Okay, so dalam case ni sebab dia kata dia sudah find the number of ways yang ada, yang kita boleh arrange this, okay. Tetapi di dalam arrangement kita tu dia ada string A, B, C. Okay, so basically sebab A, B, C ni they sit next to each other, right? So we consider A, B, C ni as a block. Okay, we consider that as a block. So basically we have A, B, C as one block and all the remaining letters, okay, D, E, F, G, H ni we consider as individual blocks. So we have 5 remaining letters. So we have 5 remaining blocks. So altogether we have 6 blocks, okay, 6 blocks. So the number of ways yang kita boleh arrange these 6 blocks is 6 factorial. Okay, so 6 factorial is equivalent to 720 ways. Okay, boleh dapat kan? Boleh faham macam mana kita dapat 6 factorial ni?
Boleh.
Boleh ya? Ada apa-apa soalan sebelum kita continue?
No, sir.
Okay. No ya? Okay. Then we look at the next example. Form all possible 5-letter words using the letters from the word baby. Okay. So dalam case ni, kalau kita tengok B ni dia repeated 3 times, right? From the word baby ni, B is repeated 3 times. A dia ada sekali saja, Y dia ada sekali saja. So dalam case ni kita kena pakai formula yang with repetition tadi. Okay, formula yang with repetition tadi is this formula. Okay, so basically to use that formula, we just will get like this. Okay, so N dia basically is 5 sebab ada 5 different elements kan di dalam this set, of letters B, A, B, B, Y ni. Okay, then dia punya cara tulis dia P, okay, brackets 5 semicolon. Then kita tulis the number of repeated letters. Okay, jadi kita tengok B ni dulu. B ni ada ulang 3 kali kan. Dia repeat 3 times, so we write 3 kat belakang. Okay, so apa yang kita dapat is 5 factorial divided by 3 factorial is equivalent to 20 factorial. Okay, so basically apa yang kita buat adalah kita eliminate the number of the number of repeated B's ni. Okay, sebab tu kita divide by 3 factorial. Boleh dapat kan? So you just substitute nilai-nilai berkenaan masuk dalam function. Okay, in this case korang kena berhati-hati kalau dalam case-case yang di mana dia punya elements dia repeated in the set, korang tak boleh directly use korang punya calculator ni. Korang kena substitute nilai dalam function ni dulu. Okay, contohnya case ni kita dapat dulu 5 factorial divided by 3 factorial. Only then you can use your calculator if you want to use. Okay, so korang kena berhati-hati. Dalam case ni kalau korang terus guna 5P3, korang masukkan nilai 53 dalam kalkulator korang, korang akan dapat the wrong answer. Ataupun, okay, so you must use the formula first. Dapat dia dalam bentuk factorial dulu, then you can use your calculator to calculate nilai factorial berkenaan. Okay? Any question before we continue?
Sir, yang ni memang untuk setiap soalan bukan ikut soalan kalau ada yang sama. Faham ke?
Formula yang macam ni kita kena pakai untuk setiap soalan yang ada repeated elements dalam dia punya set dia. Untuk set macam contohnya tadi kan, macam ABC ni semua elemen dia distinct, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H kan. So kita pakai formula yang mula-mula tadi tu, kita pakai this formula, kita pakai without repetition. Tapi once ada elemen yang repeated di dalam kita punya question, okay, dalam contohnya ada baby kan, B ni ada repeated element, B is repeated 3 times, so we use formula yang with repetition. Boleh?
Boleh.
Okay. So any other question before we continue?
Tak ada.
Tak ada? Okay.
No, sir.
So this one, dalam this example, B ni saja yang repeated 3 times. Kita tengok pada example yang di mana kita ada this word, benzene. Okay, so dalam benzene ni kita ada E yang repeated 3 times, N repeated 2 times. So kita tengok macam mana kita nak pakai formula yang tadi tu untuk solve this problem. Okay, so dalam this case, so kita punya word adalah benzene. So we have altogether 7 elements. So kita punya N value is equivalent to 7. Okay, but kita punya lepas semicolon tu kita sebab kita ada 2 letters yang repeated N. E kita is repeated 3 times, so we write 3, comma. N kita is repeated 2 times, so kita letak comma 2. So pastikan korang list down, okay, bila korang tulis P in bracket 7 semicolon ni, yang belakang ni pastikan korang list down the number of untuk setiap letters tu berapa kali dia repeated. Okay, so E ni dia repeated 3 times, sebab kita tulis 3 kat sini. N is repeated 2 times, sebab kita tulis 2. For the remaining letters, sebab B ni contohnya dia hanya sekali saja, so we don't have to write, don't need, kita tak perlu tulis. Kemudian Z ni pun sekali saja, okay. So kita dah cover all the letters. So apa yang terjadi ialah dia punya formula dia akan jadi 7 factorial divide by yang belakang ni, okay, yang after semicolon. So divide by 3 factorial times 2 factorial. Okay, so you'll get 420 number of ways to arrange the letters benzene. Okay, so sama juga dalam this case, berhati-hati, kita tak boleh pakai directly kita punya calculator. Okay, kita kena guna formula, substitute dulu dia punya appropriate nilai into the function. After you get this fraction, then you can use your calculator. Okay, you can use factorial too. Okay, so you can just masukkan 7 factorial divided by 3 factorial times 2 factorial dalam calculator. You'll get 120. Okay, but before you use your calculator in situations like this, pastikan korang guna dia punya formula dulu, masuk all the required values, then you can use your calculator. Okay, so boleh
Boleh.
Boleh, sir.
Okay, so we look at the next example. Three cards are chosen one after another from 52 card deck. Okay, find the number of M ways this can be done. A with replacement and B without replacement. Okay, so untuk guna formula replacement tu biasanya soalan dia akan explicitly state. So korang tak perlu risau sangat. Tapi for formula replacement tu tak identify bila nak guna. Cuma korang kena berhati-hati for with repetition and without repetition tu. Okay, tengok dia punya problem dia. Kalau there are repeated elements dalam problem tu, so you need to use formula yang with repetition. Okay, tapi kebiasaannya problem yang diberi kebiasaannya is without repetition. So you must carefully distinguish when to use the right formula. So dalam kes ni sebab dia explicitly say with replacement, so you just use formula with replacement tadi. Formula with replacement tadi is n to the power of r, right? So you just substitute, identify the values of n and r, then you just substitute the values into the formula. So for with replacement, n dia is 52, r dia is 3n. Sebab dia nak choose 3 cards from 52 card deck. So we just substitute the values into the formula n to the power of r, so you get 52 to the power of 3. So 52 to the power of 3 is equivalent to 52 times 52 times 52, so you get 140,608 waves. Okay, so then B pula dia kata without replacement. So in this case, by right kita assume yang sebab dalam 52 card deck ni kita boleh assume yang every of the card tu is different, so you just use yang without repetition tadi. So you get E52 3, okay, sebab dia punya n dia is 52, r dia adalah 3, so you can use formula yang tadi tu, okay, substitute nilai, so you akan dapat 52 factorial, okay. Okay, so 52 times 51 times 50, so you get 132,600,000, okay, 132,600 ways get to choose 3 cards from a 52 card deck. Okay, so this one is permutation. Jadi dalam permutation ni kalau korang notice, permutation ni dia berkaitan dengan arrangement. Macam mana kita nak arrange dia. Okay, so nanti kita akan tengok in detail perbezaan dia antara permutation and combination. Okay, then kita move on to combinations. So a combination is the selection of sub-given elements in which order does not matter. Okay, so the number of combination of n objects taken R at a time is C and R. Okay, so kita boleh denote combination ni in either of these notations. Okay, so either tulis C and R, or kita boleh tulis n as a superscript. Okay, C, R, write it as a subscript, ataupun kita bold tulis n R ni as a subscript, NCR. Okay, ataupun kita boleh tulis dia write this, ataupun kita tulis dia C, then n ke atas, R ke bawah. Okay, so dia ada banyak cara untuk denote combination. Okay, so sama juga macam permutation tadi, combination ni pun dia ada built-in function dalam kita punya calculator. So kita boleh pakai calculator, and sama juga macam permutation tadi, dia ada situasi yang kita kena pakai formula dulu sebelum kita pakai calculator. Kita substitute dulu nilai di dalam kita punya formula, only then kita use kita punya calculator. So situation dia sama macam tadi juga. Kalau without repetition, you can use straight away punya calculator, tapi kalau situation yang ada repetition, you must substitute dia punya value di dalam formula tu dulu, baru kita guna kita punya calculator. Okay, so untuk combination, kita punya formula dia is n factorial divided by r factorial into n minus r factorial. Okay, cuma so untuk combination ni beza dia for without repetition, beza dengan permutation tadi ialah dekat bawah ni dia times by r factorial. Yang tu saya beza dia. Okay, dia punya formula dia, beza dia dekat part r factorial ni saja. Okay, sebab kalau korang ingat tadi untuk permutation without repetition, dia punya formula dia is n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. But for combination, we just times the denominator by r factorial. So itu saja beza dia. So with repetition, combination dia is this one, C into N plus R minus 1, comma R, okay, equals to C N plus R minus 1, comma N minus 1, okay, equals to NPR, N plus R minus 1 factorial divided by R factorial into N minus 1 factorial. Okay, so we look at some of the examples. So in this first problem, how many committee of 3 can be formed from 7 people? So daripada this problem, we can identify that dia punya N value dia is 7, dia punya R value dia is 3. So we want to select 3 from 7 people, right? So we just guna formula tadi, okay? So ini by right, kalau kita fikir logic kan, bila kita nak select a committee of 3 from 7 people, by right dia tak ada repetition kan, sebab orang, we cannot have the same people yang orang kata yang ambil 2 position dalam committee tu. Okay, so committee tu by right dia sepatutnya is filled by 3 different people for a committee with 3 people. So we just use formula without repetition tadi. So just daripada value yang kita dah identify tadi, substitute nilai-nilai tu dalam that formula. So you get C73 also 7 factorial divided by 3 factorial into 7 minus 3 factorial. So you just solve this, so you get 7 factorial divided by 3 factorial times 3 factorial. Okay, so you can use your calculator ataupun kalau korang nak expand calculate, kalau korang tertinggal calculator pun korang boleh calculate manually. Okay, so 7 factorial is basically 7 times 6 sampailah times 1. Okay, 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Okay, kemudian untuk 3 factorial, basically 3 factorial is 3 times 2 times 1. Okay, then 7 minus 4 tadi kita dapat 4 kan. So 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So when you solve this, you'll get 35 ways, okay, to select 3 people from 7 people, okay, to form the committee. Okay, so yang ni straightforward. So you just identify dia punya N value dengan R value dia and substitute dalam formula tu. Ataupun kalau dalam soalan-soalan yang objektif, contohnya korang boleh terus pakai korang punya calculator sebab korang tak perlu tunjuk jalan kira kan. Tapi untuk subjective questions, okay, macam dalam final nanti, pastikan korang tunjuk jalan kira korang, okay? So bila korang punya, in case lah, kod lah korang punya jawapan final answer korang salah, at least korang akan dapat markah untuk jalan kira korang. Okay. Okay, then we look at the next example. In this example, dia kata, in how many ways can we select a committee of 2 women and 3 men from a group of 5 distinct women and 6 distinct men? Okay, so kita nak select a committee of 2 women and 3 men. Okay, tetapi kita ada altogether 5 women and 6 men. So dalam this problem, kita boleh pecahkan kita punya problem into 2 separate problems. Okay, yang first punya problem ialah kita cari dulu, kita calculate dulu how many ways untuk select women, so select women ke dalam community itu. Dan kita calculate how many ways to select men di dalam calculate ke dalam community itu. Then we calculate the total. Okay, so the calculate dulu how many ways, kita count dulu how many ways untuk select women. Okay, so tadi kita ada daripada women tadi kita nak select 2 women kan, so R dia adalah 2, then altogether we have 5 women, so N dia adalah 5. So you just take the R and N values. Okay, R tadi kita dah identify 2, N dia adalah 5, so we just substitute those values into the combination formula. Okay, dalam kes ni pun sama juga, kita pakai formula yang without repetition tadi. Okay, sebab by right dia tak boleh ada the same people yang occupy two different seats in the committee, right? So we use formula yang without repetition. So just substitute nilai dia. Okay, so you get 10 ways to select 2 women from 5 women. Okay. Then once we get the number of ways to select women, kita calculate the number of ways to select men. So tadi kita ada a total of 6 men, tapi kita nak select 3 sahaja kan. Okay, kita nak 3 men sahaja yang ada dalam komiti tu. So sama juga, we just substitute dia punya nilai dia. Okay, so you get 20 ways to select 3 men from 6 men. Okay. So once you get the number of ways to select a woman and to select a man, we must calculate the total ways untuk select all those people tadi, okay, 5 women and 6 men untuk be part of the committee tadi. Okay, so untuk identify sama ada kita nak pakai product rule or sum rule dalam kes ni, sebab kita kalau kita tengok balik pada soalan ni kan, dia kata dia nak select 2 women and 3 men. So dekat sini pakai and kan. So since dia pakai and, kita pakai product rule. Okay, so the final answer is 10 times 20, which we will get 200 ways. So there are altogether 200 ways to select all those women and men. Okay, untuk women and men untuk jadi ahli pada that committee. Okay, so any question before we continue?
No, sir.
Okay, so we look at the next example. Suppose a cookie shop has 4 different kinds of cookies. Okay, how many ways can 6 cookies be chosen? Okay, then assume that only the type of cookie and not the individual cookies or the order in which they are chosen matters. Okay, jadi in this case, kita nak select 6 cookies, but we have only 4 different types of cookies, right? So dalam kes ni kita pakai, dalam kes ni sebab kita nak select 6 cookies tapi ada 4 different types of cookies ni. So ada cookie yang kita perlu pilih a few times. Okay, so in this case we use formula yang with repetition tadi. Okay, formula yang with repetition tadi. So you just identify the n and r value. Okay, kita pakai formula ni, kita identify the n and r value, then we just substitute those values into kita punya formula tu. So you'll get dia punya n value dia is 4. Okay, dia punya n value is 4. So ada 4 different types of cookies. Dia punya r value dia is 6. Okay, so we just substitute dia punya nilai dia, so kita dapat C into brackets 4 plus 6. Okay, 4 tadi dia punya n, 6 is r, dia punya r value dia, minus 1. Okay, comma 6 equals to C, 4 plus 6 minus 1, comma 4 minus 1. So you get 6, C96 equals to 6, C93. Okay, then you substitute nilai-nilai itu ke dalam part yang bawah ni kan. Okay, part yang fraction tadi. Okay, sebab kita punya formula tadi kita boleh sort of ada 2 parts kan. Dia ada part yang atas ni dengan part yang fraction ni. So we substitute pula nilai ke dalam fractional part tu. So you get 9 times 8 times 7 divided by 1 times 2 times 3. So you get 84 ways to select 6 cookies from 4 different kinds of cookies. Okay, so this one is for combination with repetition. Kemudian kita tengok pula the next example. In how many ways can the letters of the word orange be arranged so that consonants occupy only even positions? Okay, so in this case kita ada 6 position, right? Kita ada 6 position and kita dia suruh cari the number of ways yang kita boleh arrange these letters from the word orange ni. Di mana dia letak condition dia consonant can only occupy even positions. Okay, so solution dia basically kita cari the number of ways kita boleh arrange consonant tu dekat even positions dulu. Okay, then kita cari the number of ways kita boleh arrange vowels at the remaining positions. So the number of ways to arrange consonants at even positions is 3p3. So you get 3 factorial, which is equivalent to 6. And we calculate the number of ways to arrange the vowels at the remaining position. So kita ada 3 vowels dalam this word. So 3p3 juga sama dengan 3 factorial. Sebab dalam this case kita dia melibatkan this word consists of vowels and consonants. So we use the product rule to get the total number of ways. So 6 times 6 is equivalent to 36 ways to arrange letters orange yang memenuhi this condition. Okay. Then we look at the next example. There are 6 men and 6 women in a room. And how many ways we can choose 3 men and 2 women from the room? Okay, so in this case sama juga, kita pecahkan dia into 2 separate parts. Kita calculate dulu how many ways kita boleh choose men. Okay, kita boleh choose 3 men from 6 women, and kita calculate how many ways to choose 2 women from 5 women. So you get the number of ways to choose 3 men, okay, is 6c3. Okay, the number of ways to choose woman is 5c2. Okay, so dalam this case sebab dia n dekat sini kan, so kita pakai product rule. So you get 20 ways times 10 ways, okay, equals to 100 ways to select 3 men and 2 women from this number of men and women. Okay. So basically perbezaan permutation and combination, di dalam permutation dia punya order matters. Okay, permutation order dia matters. So contoh-contoh soalan yang berkaitan contoh-contoh problem yang kita perlu pakai permutation ialah bila kita nak arrange letters dalam words. Okay, ataupun bila kita nak arrange people di dalam row ataupun di dalam line dan sebagainya. Okay, ataupun kita nak identify kalau problem tu berkaitan nak elect people ke dalam komiti tu, bukan nak choose tapi nak elect president, vice president ataupun treasurer. Okay, nak elect people to a position. Okay, jadi in those cases kita pakai permutations. Okay, di dalam combination pula dia order dia tak matter sebab kita just nak select a number of people from a set of elements in. So in this case contoh-contoh problem ialah nak choose people to form a committee or choose people to form a team. In this case kita tak constant sangat. Bila kita nak form a committee and form a team, kita tak constant sangat dia punya arrangement dia. Jadi sebab kita pakai combination. Okay, jadi basically the product rule is usually used with permutation since the choice for each of the ordered pairs positions may be viewed as a sequence of events. Okay, jadi kalau kita tengok balik, kalau korang ingat balik previous examples, okay, bila kita pakai permutation, most of the time kita pakai kita boleh pakai product punya rule. Okay, jadi orang kata dia punya a quick way to solve permutation related problems, kita boleh pakai product rule. Okay, sebab kalau kita substitute nilai ke dalam function permutation yang without repetition tadi pun we'll get the same answer juga bila kita pakai factorial tu. Okay, So any question for this topic?
Tak ada.
Okay, yeah. So
Ada sir.
okay, so kalau korang tengok
Tak ada
dekat
sir.
kalau korang tengok dekat author, saya dah share korang punya case study, soalan case study. So we just go through soalan dia. So basically for this case study, you must complete it within 2 weeks. Okay, so kalau starting from today, you need to submit it by 5 June. Okay, so basically untuk case study ni, you must complete this task in groups of 6 or 7. So kalau korang tengok kat author tu basically ada 4 groups, jadi korang just masukkan nama korang into any groups yang korang nak masuk, okay, yang korang suka. So basically dia punya total mark for the case study is 60 marks, okay. So case study ni akan di-evaluate based on 2 components. Yang pertama video presentation, okay, and the second one is report. Okay, so basically kita tengok dulu apa yang kena dalam report. Okay, so report tu korang perlu hantar dalam bentuk soft copy ke author. So dalam report tu korang kena nyatakan team roles, okay. So nyatakan apa yang setiap member ahli kumpulan tu buat, okay. Dan nyatakan problem statement, methodology to solve the problem, okay. Korang pakai apa, algoritma apa dan sebagainya, okay. Real life problem apa yang korang pilih, okay. Graph or tree model yang korang boleh derive from that real life problem, and algorithm yang korang pilih untuk solve problem yang korang dah choose tu. Okay, then you must justify, okay, your determination and state the tools used to visualize your model, okay. Then give the final solution of the problem and its justification, okay. Kemudian pastikan di dalam korang punya report tu korang nyatakan URL video tu, URL video tu korang kena upload kat YouTube, okay. Just then copy URL dia, masukkan dalam report korang. Okay, kemudian korang kena nyatakan, korang kena buat conclusion for your report and masukkan references. Okay, jadi references ni just masukkan saja apa reference yang atau website ke buku ke yang korang refer tu into your report. So references uses the APA format, okay, APA format. Ataupun yang APA format ni juga kadang-kadang orang sebut sebagai ni author year punya format. So use APA format. So for the video must be less than 8 minutes, okay. Lepas tu pastikan korang upload video korang dekat YouTube. Okay, bila nak buat video, pastikan you use your own voice, okay. Jangan guna robotic voice or apa-apa narrating punya software, sebab banyak narrating punya software kan. So pastikan you use your own voice. So sebab satu group tadi ada 6 or 7 people kan. So dalam video tu tak semestinya all members dalam group tu perlu cakap, okay. Jadi korang decide nanti sama ada one member saja ke ataupun 2 members yang cakap to explain problem. So you just bahagi korang punya tugas and decide on siapa yang perlu yang in charge on all those tasks, okay. So pastikan korang use your own voice, and the video should contain introduction to group members, okay. Introduce semua group members korang, introduce to the introduction to the problem, okay. Just demonstrate how a graph or tree is constructed using any tools. Jadi kita tengok tools apa yang korang boleh pakai, okay. Then describe the vertices and edges in the graph or tree and demonstrate how an algorithm is used to solve the problem, okay. So pastikan nanti korang share korang punya URL video tu dekat dekat korang punya report. Pastikan report ada dekat dalam author nanti. Okay, ini silap bukan psikologi, dekat author. So apa yang korang perlu nyatakan dalam apa yang perlu ada dalam report korang ialah front page korang pastikan ada korang list down all korang punya group members, dia punya metric numbers, okay. And then pastikan korang sertakan rubrik dalam korang punya final report, okay. So rubrik ada at the end of this instruction sheet. So basically kita tengok dia punya question dia kata find a real life problem that can be solved using graph or tree. In order to solve the problem, choose one of the following algorithms or any other algorithm and explore it. Okay, so you can choose one of these algorithms to solve the problem. Contohnya maximum flow algorithm, classical algorithm which we have covered in our class, ataupun Dijkstra's algorithm. Okay, so you can choose any of these three algorithms or any other algorithm yang korang jumpa. Okay, so you can use any of these tools to visualize your graph or tree. Okay, so you can use graph online from this URL, graphonline.ru, okay, ataupun you can use Visual Algo Graph Traversal from visualgrow.net, ataupun breakfast search USFCA, okay, from this website, one breakfast search USFCA from this website, okay, pun this one, okay, Visual Algo Create Graph, okay. So you can use any of these tools pun any other tools yang korang jumpa yang useful to solve your problem. Okay, so untuk report dengan video, okay, pastikan korang go through the rubric, okay, dan penuhi all these attributes, okay. Pastikan korang penuhi all these attributes so that you can get the highest mark possible, okay, highest mark possible. So you just go through this rubric, pastikan korang penuhi all the criteria in this rubric so you can get good marks for your case study. So okay, for case study ni, any question yang tak clear for the instruction?
Tak ada.
Belum
Okay,
ada,
kan?
Tuan.
No, sir.
Okay, so you can access the instruction sheet. The instruction sheet is already available at Author, so you can download it and decide on on your group members. Okay, so due date is by 2 weeks from now. Okay, so okay, kita dah tengok topik tu, our last topic and case study, and korang ada simpan tak lagi korang punya answer for test hari tu? So kita
Not no, sir.
kalau korang tak ada, saya share link supaya korang boleh download. Okay. So we'll just go through the answers for the test. So okay, dia punya link dia, link dia dekat chat. So di dalam chat tu nanti dia buka Google Sheet, nanti korang boleh download korang punya answer yang korang nak submit hari tu. So okay. Okay, so semua ready ya? Jadi kita just go through dia punya answer dia. Okay, so for question 1 dia kata let A di this set kita ada 1, 2, 3, 4. Identify whether each of the following is true or false. Okay, jadi kita tengok dulu set ni. Set ni basically dia ada 3 elements. Okay, we have 1 as the first element. The second element is 2 and 3. Okay, 2 and 3 ni kita consider dia sekali as an element. Okay, as one element. And we have 4 as another element. So dia punya cardinality for set A is 3. Okay, so kita tengok question A, kata 1, 4 is a subset of 4. Is a subset of A. So this statement is true. Then dia kata 2 is an element of A. This one is false. Okay, so 2 is not an element of A. Okay, kalau kita remove, kata kita tak ada this curly bracket, then this statement akan jadi true. Tapi since 2 ni dia duduk dalam another set which is part of set A, okay, so 2 is not an element of A. Okay, then this one dia kata 2, 3 is a subset of A. Okay, yang ni pun false ya. Okay, jadi kalau dia punya statement dia macam ni baru dia true. Okay, dia ada curly bracket 2 kali. Tapi since ni curly bracket dia sekali saja, okay, so dia false. Okay, kemudian soalan D, 1, 2, 3 is a subset of A. So this one is true. Okay, kemudian question 2, write the set builder notation of set Q equals to this set of numbers. Okay, so set builder notation dia punya format, dia punya form dia macam ni. Okay, jadi basically kita boleh tulis dia as Q equals to X such that X belongs to the set of natural numbers and X cubed is less than or equal to 5. So korang akan dapat 0.5 mark for the right form. Okay, korang tulis jawapan korang dalam set builder notation, korang akan dapat 0.4 mark. Then kalau korang choose atau state the right number category, okay, in this case dia adalah a set of natural numbers ni, korang akan dapat 0.5 mark lagi. Okay, kalau korang tulis X cube akan dapat 0.5 mark. So kalau korang letak the right condition dekat belakang, korang akan dapat 0.5 mark. Okay, so condition kat belakang ni you can either put less than or equal to 5 ataupun less than 6. Okay, jadi either those two conditions. So altogether you get 2 marks. Okay, then question 3, represent set P equals to X such that X belongs to the set of natural numbers and X squared minus X minus 3X plus 2 equals to 0 in the rooster form. So rooster form, kalau kita ingat balik, rooster form ni is the form yang kita list down all the elements individually, okay, into the set. So basically you write like this, okay, P equals to buka curly bracket, tutup curly bracket dan list down all the elements. Okay, so dia bagi dekat sini X cube minus 3X plus 2 kan. So untuk cari dia punya elements of this set, you just factorize this equation. Okay, so kita factorize ni kan, contohnya kita factorize X square minus X cube minus 3X plus 2. Bila kita factorize ni kita akan dapat basically 3X, okay, dapat 3X minus 2, okay. Sorry, bukan 3X. Kita akan dapat X minus 2 dengan X minus 1. Okay, so you get X minus 2 minus X minus 1 equals to 0. Okay, so kalau kita check balik X times X, X square, X minus X times negative 1, so kita dapat negative 1X ataupun negative X, negative 2 times X, negative 2X. negative, so kita akan dapat altogether negative 3x. So negative times negative, positive, 2 times 1, 2. So you can verify that. So kita factorize dan kita basically apa yang kita dapat ialah kita dapat x minus 2 equals to 0. Okay, and kita dapat juga ni x minus 1 equals to 0. So we just move the numbers into the right hand side of these two equations, so you can get the value of x. So basically what you get is elements 1 and 2, okay, for set B. So basically dari segi pecahan markah dia 0.5 mark for the correct form, okay, the rooster form, and 0.25 mark per element, per correct element. So since we have two elements, so you get 0.5. Together you get 1 mark for this question 3. Okay. And we look at question 4. Okay, dia kata given the Venn diagram as depicted in figure question 4. So dia bagi this Venn diagram. Dia kata shape the area represented by A intersect B union C. So since ada bracket, so we solve this part first, B union C. So B union C is this part. B union C is all this. Okay, circle C ni and circle B. So you get all these for B union C. Kemudian dia kata A intersect B union C. So A intersect, kita tengok this whole part yang intersect dengan A. So you get only this part, this shaded area. Okay, kemudian question B, shaded area represented by A intersect B union A intersect C. So you solve yang part intersect dulu, part yang bracket dulu. So A intersect B is this part, and A intersect C is this part. So union is all this part yang kita dah shape ni. Okay, then question 5, kita kata let the universal set be 9 delta infinity 0 1 beta gamma. A equals to 9 delta infinity 0 and B equals to infinity 0 1 and beta. Okay, kemudian dia suruh draw the Venn diagram illustrating the given sets. So you can draw the Venn diagram, then place the elements appropriately into the sets. So basically untuk Venn diagram ni, okay, each correct element, each correct position of the element you get 0.5 mark. Okay, mana-mana elemen yang korang letak dekat the right position, okay, into the right set, get 0.5 mark. Then the label for the sets, okay, A, B, C, kita ada 3 label, A, B dengan U ni, you have 3 labels, you get 0.5 mark each. So altogether you'll get 4 marks. So then they can determine the elements of A intersect B. Okay, so you can use your Venn diagram to identify the elements of A intersect B. So A intersect B is infinity and 0. So you write down infinity and 0. Okay, pastikan korang tulis dalam curly brackets. Kemudian determine the elements of A union B. So A union B is this circle and this circle. You list down all the elements of set A and all the elements of set B. So you get the set of elements for A union B. Then determine the elements of A union B complement. So A union B is this one, okay, but the complement of A union B is the area outside of this A and B. So the element dia adalah gamma ni. Okay, so write down gamma. So question E, determine the cardinality of A union B. So you count the number of elements in set A union B. Sebab if kita dah identify, you can either go back at your Venn diagram and count the elements, the number of elements, atau you can refer back to C and count the number of elements in A union B. So you should get 6. Okay. Okay, kemudian question 6, given a directed graph as depicted in figure question 6. Okay, so they give this directed graph. So list the ordered pairs of the relation concept R2. So dia punya ordered pair dia, basically you just refer to this directed graph. Kita tengok arrow dia pergi ke mana. Okay, so kita tengok loop ni kan, loop ni 1 1. So the first ordered pair is 1 1. Kemudian arrow yang pergi from 1 to 2, so the next ordered pair is 1 2. Okay, then we have 1 4, okay, 2 2, 2 3, 3 3, 3 4 and 4 1. So you just look at the arrow to identify the ordered pair of this directed graph. So you get set R. So you dari segi pemarkahan dia, you get 0.5 mark per correct ordered pair. Kemudian dia kata give the matrix of the relation. So the matrix of the relation, you can either refer to the directed graph, okay, untuk build the matrix dia, ataupun you refer to this ordered pairs. Okay, so kita basically kita ada 4 elements kan. Kita ada element 1, 2, 3, 4. So kita punya matrix is a 4 by 4 matrix. So you just list down, okay, 1 2 3 4, this 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. So cara nak mark 1 dekat matrix ni ialah elemen pertama di dalam ordered pair ni adalah kita anggap dia sebagai the row of the matrix. Second element in the ordered pair is the column of the matrix. So kita kata 1 1, kita tengok dulu 1 dekat sini, kat mana position dia. Okay, so is the first row and the second one is the first column. So kita mark 1 dekat sini. Kemudian 1 2, okay, kita cari 1 dekat sini. Okay, the first row. Then kita cari position for the second column. So you mark 1 dekat sini. 1 4, you get this position. 2 2, okay, you get this position and so on. So once you have filled up all the ordered pairs ni, the remaining position yang kita letak dengan nilai 1 tu, kita just tulis kosong. So you get this matrix. So basically in terms of the marking, okay, you get 0.5 mark per correct one position. Okay, jadi ini 0.5, 0.5, 0.5 and so on. So altogether you get 4 marks. And question C, give the in degree and out degree of each vertex. So we have 4 vertices, 1 2 3 4. So kalau nak mudah, you can draw a table. Atau kalau korang tak buat create a table, pastikan korang explicitly differentiate the in degree and out degree for each of the vertex. So in degree for vertex 1, you just count how many arrows yang masuk ke that particular vertex. Okay, this vertex 1. So we have 2 arrows yang come into vertex 1. So dia punya in degree is 2. And out degree dia kita just calculate, and we just count how many arrows yang move away from vertex 1. So there are 3 arrows yang move away from vertex 1. So our out degree is 3. Sama juga untuk vertices 2, 3 and 4 ni. So you can just identify by looking at the direction of the arrows. Okay, untuk in degree tengok arrow yang masuk ke dalam that particular vertex. Out degree you just count the arrows yang move away from the vertex. Okay, so you should get this number of in degree and out degree. Okay, so a quick way to verify, okay, the number of in degree and out degree is correct is you just sum up together all the in degree of all the vertices in the diagram. Okay, in this case kalau kita sum up kita akan dapat 8, okay, 8 in degrees. Jadi out degree dia pun kita sum up, kita akan dapat, kalau kita tambah 3 tambah 2 tambah 2 tambah 1, kita akan dapat 8. So by right sepatutnya in degree and out degree dia must be equal to each other. Okay, so kalau equal, so korang punya kiraan tu betul. Okay, kalau tak equal, korang just check balik korang punya kiraan tu ada salah ke tak. Okay, so this one is C and question 7. Consider the relation R with this ordered pairs 1 1 1 2 1 3 2 2 3 1 and 3 3 defined on the set 1 2 3. Kita draw the diagonal graph of the relation. So to draw the diagonal graph, you just look at the ordered pairs. Okay, since we have 3 elements, so there are 3 vertices, then dia punya arrow dia based on set R ni. So you will get this ordered pair. So 1 1, so dia loop balik ke diri dia sendiri, 1 2, arrow from 1 to 2, 1 3, arrow from 1 to 3 and so on. So you get this diagonal graph. So you get the 0.5 mark per rank edge. So altogether dia ada akan dapat 3 markah. Okay. Kemudian determine whether the relation of A is equivalent or not. Okay. So untuk tengok whether they equivalent or not, untuk equivalence dia perlu penuhi 3 karakteristik kan. Dia mestilah reflexive, symmetric and transitive. So you can kita boleh verify by looking at this directed graph yang korang dah buat tu. Okay. Untuk jadi reflexive, kita kena pastikan dekat semua vertex ni ada loop. Okay. Kalau semua vertex ada loop, dia reflexive. Okay. So R is reflexive for every element in the set because R is reflexive because every element in the set is related to itself. So kalau dapat satu markah. Untuk symmetry, okay, bila kita ada arrow from one vertex to another vertex, mesti ada arrow yang patah balik from that vertex to back to the origin of the vertex to the origin of the arrow. So in this case kita ada arrow from 1 to 3 and arrow patah balik, tetapi kita tak ada arrow yang patah balik from 2 to 1 for this ni. Okay, this pair of vertices ni. So in this case dia R is not symmetric. Okay, kalau korang state R is not symmetric and justify kenapa dia tak symmetric, korang dapat satu markah. Kemudian untuk transitive, you just look at condition. Kalau kita ada ni dalam kes ni kita ada 1 3, okay, dan kita ada 3 3, okay, so kita ada 3 1, so dia adalah transitive. Okay, so in this case sebab one of the criteria is not fulfilled, okay, they are not symmetric, so it is not equivalent. So you get also 1 mark for stating whether it is equivalent or not. So altogether you get 4 marks. Or then we look at question 8. Given fx equals to 2 minus 5x, find the inverse of f minus 1 and the inverse of f negative 1. So kalau nak mudah, korang cari the inverse of f dulu. Okay, untuk cari inverse of f, you just let fx equals to y equals to 2 minus 5x, pindah-pindah punya value dia. So you get pindah-pindah value dia supaya kat sebelah kiri ni kita dapat x, nilai x tu. So x equals to 2 minus y divided by 5. Okay, once you dapat this one, okay, pastikan korang state dia punya inverse of x dia, ataupun korang boleh gunakan y, apa-apa variable pun boleh guna. Okay, asalkan di sebelah kanan ni, the right hand side ni is the same variable on the left. Okay, so in this case kita pakai variable y, so pastikan korang state the inverse of function f ni is equivalent to what. Sebab itu pun ada markah juga. Okay, so then once you get the inverse function of f, you can substitute negative 1 into that function. So you should get 3 over 5 is the answer. So kalau korang punya step correct, you'll get 5 marks. Okay. Then we look at question 9. Question 9 is given, you are given a function f, fx equals to 3x minus 6 and gx equals to 2x plus 2. Disuruh cari f9. So you just take the function f to substitute 9 into that function, you should get 21 as the answer. Okay, so ini korang akan dapat 1 mark kalau betul. Then dia kata find the value of x if fx equals to 18. So dia kata fx is equal to 18 kan. Dan dalam masa yang sama dekat soalan dia asal ni dia kata dia bagi function f. So we can kata we can combine this. Okay, we can substitute fx in we can substitute this function 3x minus 6 into this. Okay, so you get fx equals to 18, 3x minus 6 equals to 18. So pindah-pindahkan value dia punya term-term, dia punya number ni. So the left hand side kita tinggal x. So x will get 8. Okay, kemudian question C dia suruh cari the composition of G and F. So kita ada G or F, when G composed of Fx is equivalent to G Fx. So we solve part yang dalam bracket ni dulu, which is Fx. So Fx is 3x minus 6, right? So we just substitute 3x minus 6 into this bracket. Okay, so we get G into brackets 3x minus 6. Then we substitute G punya function to our problem. So you get 2 to 3x minus 6 plus 2. So you expand this equation, you get 6x minus 12 plus 2, and you get 6x minus 10. Okay, so kita akan dapat kita punya jawapan kita. So basically test 1 ni full mark dia adalah 50 marks and they contribute 10% to your carry mark. So kalau korang score this test, congratulations. But if you didn't score, don't worry. Okay, try to score case study tu, the remaining one. Okay, korang punya remaining assignment. Okay, so you can, still get, masih ada chance to get good grades. And final exam pun jangan lupa juga, okay, study for that. Okay, so
Please, sir.
alright, so korang ada satu lagi quiz. Saya akan cuba try arrange untuk buat quiz tu